Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Almost sounded like a game show host for a minute there. I am testing out my webcam that I just recently purchased, and I might throw that in there with the video. So I'd like to start off where we left off. The chess set introduction. And where to begin? Well, with a new project in Maya, it's all about being clean. So let's start with making a new project. Boom. Let's call this chess set of chess pieces, and let's put it somewhere safe. How about on my right here. Done. Okay, so whenever you start a new digital art piece, be it a chess set or a dragon or a nice apartment building, you need reference. You need to go on Google and you need to figure out what it looks like, what it is you're trying to get. And we found some. I found some. So we're going to put it in the scene, in the space, so we know what we're doing. So we need a plane. On this plane, I'm going to put a picture of chess pieces. To do that, we need a material. In order to put color on it, we need to do more than just be fancy with the color wheel. I'm sorry, there seems to be someone hammering in the background. I apologize. I will try to edit it out later. Okay. Here we have our reference. Now, this is the set of pieces I want to make. This is the size of each piece. The king's 3.75 inches. So let's do this. This, as you can see, is a different set of pieces. And what I want from this photo is the color red. I want this red to be in place of this black. So when it comes time, and it will, we'll get there, I'll show you what I mean. So let's put it on. And in order to get to show up in our scene, we need to turn on our textures, our materials. So we press 6, boom, we have pictures. So let's get it in position. X is the forward facing axis. That's a lovely word. So here are images all squashed and not really pretty. In order to get it the proper image, we need to bring it into Photoshop and find out what size it is. So I've done that already. It is 1000 pixels wide, and 500 pixels high. So we're going to set that here. 1500. And we zoom out. And we zoom out. There it is, properly sized. And then we can equally scale it down. So that's all well and good, but is it the proper size? We can do something like this. We can create a measuring tool, a distance tool. This will allow us to measure the distance. And we hold X to snap stuff, magnetically snap stuff to the grid. Let's do it. Let's do it right here. So, if you can't see, this image is massive. It's pretty huge. Let's turn the grid off. Okay. If we want this to be If we want this to be 3.75 inches, then we need to make it so. All the way down. We can set this to be 3.7. Now, if we go like this, there's the bottom. And we just do a little house cleaning. Just like that. Line it up nice. And then shrink this. this is physically accurate. And that will come in handy near the very end of this entire project, because the game engine renders things in a physically accurate environment. So, let's make the pawn to start. Now, we only need the pawn, so let's get rid of this other stuff. We love the king. The king is a strong piece in its own right. The queen, deadly, attacking every angle. The bishop, the sniper bishops, always ready. The knights, slow moving, but very tactile. The rooks, barreling down every column. But we just need a beautiful little pawn. So let's just cut it off here. Separate him from the rest of the group. Okay. I don't want to delete everything after we make it. So I'm going to make a duplicate. And I'm going to delete that. Now, I have this. And I can hide that on a different layer. I'll just put it over here. R for reference. And then hide it. Now, let's make this. Let's make this small man. Let me just put that here. Move it out of the way. So what do we see? We see a sphere. Let's start there. Now, the photo isn't taken perfectly. It's got some perspective askew. But in CG, we can make things perfect. So let's do that. Now this ball shape comes down, but then it comes out in a ridge. So we're going to get rid of that. Just delete it. We don't need it. We can always get it back later. So, what if I center this a bit? Okay. So we need to make this little balcony, this ridge here. Let us grab this edge loop. And let's extrude. See this little picture? This tiny little picture shows an edge coming out of a polygon. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Now, because it's not a straightforward picture, I'm going to bring it down to about here. And then I'm going to add an edge loop. Insert, we need to now support this curvature. We can do that by putting our own edge loops in. And then stretching them out. Right there. That seems about right. Now, how do we get this? Well, we just need to add some more supporting geometry. So let's just keep adding. I'm pressing G here. And what that does is repeat the last action so that I don't have to go through the menus again. We get this nice fall off right there. So let's do this one more time. Just like that. Now, if we wanted this to be equal, so that this vertex lines up with this one, that's also very simple. We can duplicate, create a copy, we can get rid of this. Get rid of this. Flip that around. Line this up. Get rid of the old uneven geometry. And there we go. We just do like we did with the H. We combine. Now that only puts them in the same category. It's still separate pieces. So we need to select all these vertex points. All of them. All the way around. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then we need to merge them so that they stick together. Now you'll see they don't separate anymore. Okay. So when you can tell that an edge is flat, that's called faceting. In this picture, there's no flat edge. And from afar, it's hard to tell that there's a flat edge there. But I'd like to get in close and just add one more bit. One more piece of geometry. Now let's move them together so that we don't have to equalize them again. Just like this. this little dress part. So let's repeat. Come down. We go out. We create an edge loop. We suck it in. Now, it's not that shape, as you can tell. So let's just make it a little more curvy. So, I've only been doing this for a few years. I went to college not knowing anything about this, and it was pretty eye-opening. To say the least. Not knowing a single thing. But the dedicated few, those of us that wanted it bad enough, learned everything we could. So, we have the general shape. Now we just need to clean it up. I'm just going to take a sip of my water. Okay. I would like to add one more here. Just very gently push it down. Even out the space here. Okay, so let's look at our piece. It's coming along nicely. So what we have to do is get this nice bump. It's not a perfect crease like this. If I can show you. It's got a very soft, it's abrupt, but it's a soft, because nothing in the world is this sharp, unless it's a knife. So, it's obviously not this abrupt, this broad. So let's cool it down a little, not get too excited. Look at that. There we go. We're going to do the same here. We're just going to gently tuck it in so that it's a little more realistic. Because realism is the name of the game. So, if you can see here, it kind of bulges out a bit. Very, very tiny. So let's do that. Let's give it a little bit of oomph. let's tuck it in. Let's bring it in a tiny bit. Let's do that. And obviously, we need to get rid of this harsh curve. So let's just bevel, increase, slide. We need just a bit. Just a bit. The trick to 3D art is to get the big shapes in first. The big shapes. And then you want to focus on the secondary details. The form, you want to get the proper silhouette. If this was black and the space around it was white, what would you know? You would be able to know that this is a pawn. That's what you want. Everything in the middle is undetectable. Do I know what I'm looking at? Yes. So let's keep it going here. Silhouette is key. So we notice that it goes like a little hill, and then it's not as round as this one. It comes really abrupt. So let's not be too careful, but let's tuck it in a little earlier. There. Now, obviously, this sharp crease shouldn't exist. So bring it in a little more. Bring it in a little more. Move it all up. I started watching videos on hypnosis, and it was doing something for me, but it didn't quite make me relax. It was triggering my ASMR, but not in a manner that made me relaxed. And I went on the search. I went on the move. I had to figure out what that tingling sensation was. The first person I ever listened to was ASMR Novastar. Alright. So, there's the pawn. Pretty simple. You know, just generic edge loops. And one primitive that we were able to make this entire design from. So you'll see you have these weird, hard, very strong edges that's because of some math where these verts, they all point in a separate direction. Now we need to soften them up and let them open. So that it's a round object. Okay. Okay. Now nothing should ever be open like this. So if it's open, we need to close it. And there's a little pad there, but we'll make that after. So simple. We need to select everything, and we just need to fill the hole. Now, from here, super simple. We grab it. We want everything to be beautiful quads. Quad is 4 edges. Triangles are also okay. Anything more than 4 edges is a big, ugly problem. So let's fix that. Let's make our own. Let's get surgical. I will, one by one, cut quads into the mesh. And now we're left with this weird 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edge face. So let's just cut it down the middle. Boom. There we go. Quads, even healthy quads. So that concludes the polygon modeling of the pawn. I'll explain later in another video how to get these beautiful ridges and this design in. This, by the way, is the Parker Staunton chess piece set. It is, if you look here, burnt boxwood, and of course the white pieces aren't burnt. So actually, maybe you guys can decide. Should I keep the dark burnt birchwood, or should I change it with the red that you saw earlier? I just think this is absolutely beautiful. So next video, I would like to explain a little bit about the tools I used to get this and the idea of each of them, their uses maybe, if that interests you. And hopefully that helps you follow along. If you have any questions, or maybe you use this program yourself and you'd like to get to know something, please ask away in the comment section below. I will gladly help anyone out. So yes, next video I'll explain some tools and I'll give a brief introduction into ZBrush, where you will see just how we get those big, tiny details onto the chess piece. And a program like this is powerful. So I hope you're prepared to go on this adventure with me, because I'd love it if you came along. Thank you for watching.